You ever see a stock just defy gravity? One that in a single day seems to launch itself into orbit, leaving pretty much everyone just scratching their heads asking, what on earth just happened? Well, today, that's what we're going to find out. We are dissecting the anatomy of one of these explosions, the recent wild surge of Jaguar Health.
Just look at that number. On January 17th, the stock, ticker JAGX, it didn't just climb, it erupted. It posted a mind-boggling 87% gain in one single trading session. Folks, that's not just a good day. That's a full-blown market phenomenon.
And that really is the big question for us today, isn't it? What forces, what technical triggers, and what kind of market psychology can possibly come together to create such a massive vertical move? We're going to break down all the data behind this surge.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the explosive surge itself. Then we're going to explore the bull case, what's fueling this rocket ship. But we also have to look at the other side, the risks of an overheating engine. After that, we'll pinpoint the key battlegrounds where this stock's future is going to be decided before we give our final verdict on this very high-stakes situation.
All right, let's get right into the mechanics of it. What did the data actually show on this absolutely explosive day?
Well, the first clue is the volume. On that one day, nearly 160 million shares changed hands. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is over 38 times its average daily volume. This was not a quiet rise. This was a stampede of market interest. That's how you know something really extraordinary is going down.
But here's the crucial context. As incredible as this 87% jump was, it was really more of a recovery mission. I mean, the stock was so beaten down that even after this huge surge, it was still trading at less than 20% of its yearly high. So this wasn't a rocket creating a new peak. It was a bounce from deep, deep in the valley.
So, what technical signals gave the bulls so much conviction? Let's take a look at the evidence that was fueling this absolute rocket ship higher.
The sheer force of this move becomes so clear when you look at the simple moving averages, or SMAs. Think of these like trend lines. The price of 29 cents didn't just cross them, it violently blew past every single short and medium-term average. For technical traders, that is a massively powerful bullish signal. And adding even more fuel to the fire was this, a confirmed bullish crossover on the MACD indicator. You can think of this as the market's engine shifting into a higher gear. When that faster line crosses above the slower one, it signals that upward momentum is accelerating, and boy did it accelerate here.
And the bullish signals, they didn't stop there. The Parabolic SAR confirmed the trend was up. The money flow index hit 94 out of 100. That shows some incredibly intense buying pressure. And the Chaikin oscillator proved that big money was flowing into the stock, not out of it. It was really a perfect storm of positive indicators.
But, every rocket engine has its limits. When a stock moves this fast, this far, you have to ask yourself, is it flying a little too close to the sun? Let's look at the warning signs.
The first major red flag is the Relative Strength Index, or RSI. This measures the speed and change of price movements. Now, a reading above 70 is usually considered overbought. JAX was at 88. That is not just overbought. That's deep and extreme overbought territory, signaling that this move is technically way overextended.
And if you thought that was high, get this, the stock RSI. It's like a super sensitive version of the RSI. It hit 100. 100. It literally cannot go any higher. This means we're at maximum upward velocity. But it also signals a state of total exhaustion. The engine is absolutely redlining. The extremity of this whole situation is also shown by the Bollinger Bands. A good way to think of them is like a rubber band around the price. Well, this stock didn't just touch the top of the band. It stretched it to its absolute limit, trading way, way beyond it. This is a rare event that signals totally unsustainable volatility.
In this quote from the source analysis, it really says it all. Physics applies to the markets too. What goes up this fast and this far outside the normal range often has a sharp pullback, or at the very, very least, it needs to pause and catch its breath.
So, with this immense power on one side and extreme risk on the other, where does the fight go from here? This brings us to the key battlegrounds. These are the price levels where the bulls and the bears are about to have a major clash.
Okay, here are the lines in the sand. The first level of support, that's the floor the bulls absolutely have to defend, is right around 23 cents. Above us, the major ceiling, the big wall they need to break through, is at 35 cents. The price right now is basically caught right between these two critical zones. And that resistance level, it isn't just some random number. It's the 200-day moving average, which is a massive long-term technical barrier. For a lot of traders, this is the ultimate test. If they can break above it, that's a huge victory for the bulls. But failing here could trigger a pretty significant reversal. Okay, let's put it all together. We have this insane momentum clashing head-on with these extreme overbought conditions. So what is the final verdict on this high-stakes standoff?
The conflict really comes down to this. On one side, you have the bull case, absolutely insane volume, strong buy signals, and intense money flow. But on the other side, you have the bear case. Every indicator is screaming overbought. The price is stretched far beyond normal limits, and there's a huge resistance level waiting right ahead.
So, it all comes down to this. The official technical assessment from our source just perfectly captures this duality: explosive parabolic breakout, extreme overbought condition. It's a situation of incredible power, but also incredible risk, and it demands extreme caution from anyone getting involved.
And this leaves us with a final question. Is this a momentum rocket with enough fuel to blast through that final resistance? Or is it an overheated engine that's about to fall back to Earth? In the battle for JAGX, which of these powerful forces will ultimately win out?